Okay, this is gonna be cool. This is gonna be super cool because I don't know if this is gonna make it into the Sunday thing video, but because this is by far the most like instrument heavy and line heavy performance song of the week so far in the past 12 weeks now or 13 weeks now. I thought of maybe making a video explaining the process on how I make the demo song. So I think I'm going to label this thing, like this video, as probably something within the lines of this is how I prepare like a rock song, rock demo in the box. I have done zero editing, zero. The only thing that I did, and that was because I'm just used to this, is that the acoustics here, as you can see, this is acoustic 1, acoustic 2, acoustic 3, and acoustic 4, which essentially these just need to be basically here. They are panned hard left and hard right. Same for electrics, like the distortion guitars are hard left and hard right. That is it. Nothing else. So the first thing I do is I label my tracks and I color code them. So because I know this is the vocals, I know this is the harmony. I recorded this like this morning. This is the acoustic guitar. I don't know if I should call it a pro tip, but tip. When you're changing the name of your track, instead of pressing enter to change the name, if you hold shift and press enter, it changes the name of the audio, like the waveform as well. This is, I think I'm going to put them here. So let's just do that. Let's just comp them together. There shouldn't be virtually any specific or major difference in between them. Let me just listen to them. Yeah, there's really nothing wrong here. Okay, so I can let go of these two lines. This is the bass guitar. The first time I recorded it, well, second time technically, for one of these demos. This is the clean guitar, so electric guitar, clean. It's in the center. This is my drums track. These are all distortions, but these are rhythms. So electric guitar rhythm 1, electric guitar rhythm 2. This is electric like overdub, although overdub, let's look like this. In the center, electric guitar solo. So let's say all of the electric guitars are going to be red. You're also an electric guitar, so you're going to be red. I'm used to the drum track being blue. Not this blue, but I'll live with it. My bass tracks should be yellow for me to make sense. My acoustics need to be orange, and these are vocals. They can be either green or like essentially any other color that I haven't used. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to mute my vocals. I'm going to group my acoustic guitars. I'm going to bust them up. Acoustic group. So that whatever change I want to do on them, it happens to both of them. So I've grouped them now. All right, here's how the song begins. So I'm counting the acoustic inside. I'm counting the song in the acoustic mic. I've used two different microphones for this. I've recorded the acoustic guitars using an Audio-Technica AT2020 running through my UAD Volt 276, running through the 76 compressor, 1176 compressor, and the vintage 76 compressor, as well as I had the acoustic guitar mode active, which essentially is a very fast attack kind of a compressor. Nothing else has happened so far. This is the raw recording. I'm using, well, it is here. I'm using a D'Angelico acoustic guitar, the Primer from New York, with relatively fresh strings. There's a myth when it comes to music production and all of that, which is not really a myth at this stage, it's really true. And that is, if you're able to get the recording very well sorted out in the beginning of your signal chain, meaning that the source is recorded properly, you're going to be fine. You're going to be absolutely fine. You don't really need to do a lot of things. A good mix, a good engineered sound is a sound that is not changed very dramatically. All right, we got some arpeggios here. And then some strums. All right, and then the chorus. All right, let's see if I should crossfade these. That means that there should be virtually not a lot of like cut in, cut out sounds. Very well, because these are different takes. All right, I'm happy with what I'm hearing in terms of just the general clarity. No EQs so far. Let's listen to the bass guitar. I'm hearing some noise. There's some noise happening. Like here on the higher end. Here. Which could be because of the pickups. I think you can hear the thing too. Maybe I should gate this. Let me try something new. Let me add my usual bass plugin is a Trivium bass knob, but not that heavy because I don't want it to have any kind of a massive amount of distortion. No, you can hear the noise a lot more here, right? I'll just lower this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this plugin itself's bass. All right, now let's kill the signal. All right, I'm okay with it. This is not a crazy thing for you now. Let's see if the pre-chorus to chorus is. There's a little bit of a punch in, punch out sound. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try and fix this by cross-fading it. There we go. So let's see. Like the process I do for the acoustic sounds is as follows. My go-to plugin is my Neutron, Isotope Neutron. And generally, I begin my mixing every time. I begin my mixing while I'm using the clean and clear acoustic. This is like how I begin the process of the acoustic. So this is with the plugin active, right? And this is without. With. Because there's a little bit of a boost in the high mids here, mids and the high mids, it becomes more lively. Maybe I have to dial it down, but for now I'm going to keep it this way and add more elements, because the faster I can get ready to like mix the thing as a whole, the easier my life is going to become. And I'm not going to remove the intro, like the counting thing, to make it sound more human. And also when I'm recording the video of performance of this song, the performance video of the song, I have a tempo in my head. So I say 2, 3, 4, and then. However, I think this needs some room treatment, and my go-to room treatment would be Valhalla Room. A Valhalla Room, what is this? Has a very cool acoustic module that I love. It's in the dense room acoustic guitar. Usually I mix it like maybe 50% negative, like maybe like at 50%, as so. and then I signal, like I route it from here, this is here now, at negative 15 dBs. It usually gives a good room vibe. So this is with everything. This is without. Let's go for the this section. Everything. Nothing. You see, it kind of opens up because of the exciter in neutron and because of a tiny bit of reverb. However, I feel like, and this could be my ears, that the reverbs are a little too high in this section. I need a sheen frequency here for other instruments like vocals or like the hi-hats. All right, let's hit it with the bass. Obviously, the bass is too loud. Drums. Now, one thing you need to know, this drum that you see here, this drum line here that you see, I essentially recorded with a MIDI controller in like maybe 5 minutes. It's a lot of copy and pasting, and I'm fine with it because this is a demo. I'm not sure if my drum sample has any kind of a... There's a more modern feature that you essentially humanize your playing, that it doesn't play all of the notes. One thing that I do sometimes is I go here, I go to the Cubase. Here, there's a thing called play probability. If you've made, I usually I'm like at 95% because it makes some of the notes more funny. It, like a human doesn't hit all of the notes or hits them with 90% maybe probability. Look, the acoustics are too loud. Maybe at this tempo it was a mistake to use the probability. It's generally used for synthesizers and arpeggiator, like arpeggiated sequences. Now, I am actually using the, hold on. I am using the close and tight with master EQ off here. Although I could use the mix ready, but I like this one because it sounds more in your face. I'm going to route the drums to the reverb of the room, again with negative 15. Lower the volume. I'm gonna go back to Neutron. Neutron has a drums plug, like preset, that I adore. In the drums bus, in the acoustic, is called Massive Rock Drums. Usually I enable this and it is a one-time fix for my demos. You are hearing this with the plugin active. This is with it not active. It is a really handy dandy tool. It's a really handy dandy tool. Sometimes I do the EQ. I change the EQ and everything. But for now, because this is going to be a fast mix, I'm just going to keep it as it is. Maybe I add a neutron to my bass here. Maybe, and then I'll choose a bass module, electric bass, with a which one am I gonna go for? Let's go with a lively plug, right? And here, I'm gonna go to my drums because Neutron has handshake with itself. And then I'm going to the EQ section, and here I can choose the masking with the bass. The oranges are where they are like their signal clash. Here, like within the 80 hertz, generally where bass lives around the 80 hertz is a good place for me to maybe look at a bit aggressively because you see it's boosted here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna saturate this, and then I'm going to make the threshold a little more, and then bring this line a little bit down so it clashes slightly less. I'm okay with this. Now, for my electric guitars, I am using, as you can see here, I'm using the amp knob Trivium for both of them, which is unnecessary. So I'm going to group them here because I think I recorded this guitar, then I duplicated it. Now, these two are linked to group 2, electric guitar, electric group, right? And I'm going to remove, actually, I'm going to show you what I do. I press F3 so I see my master, like my master faders. These two here, I think you can see me. These two are my electrics. This is the group. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this here, and then I'm going to delete this. And that means now both of these guitars on their own will sound like with not like nothing, but through the group, I have them. And because the plugin by default runs in stereo, I'm not worried about the left and right situation. Although, what did I do? Although, I like the vintage cap. This is a good plugin. This is a really good guitar plugin. It's like a one thing. It's by Amp Knob. It's by Barker Digital. I like these guys very much. Obviously, the electric guitars are too loud. I'm loving it so far. For my electric guitars, I'm going to cheat a little bit, and I will use Soothe instead of Neutron to do the handshake thing, because I have a plan for this later that I'll tell you. Electric guitar harsh. This is with Soothe active. This is with it not active. So see, it's not killing, but it's controlling a lot of the harsh resonances from like 2.5 to 4K, which is the problem frequency. Then in the master EQ, I don't need a lot of this. Because my bass guitar is filling that frequency. Right? If I want to, like, it is just creating extra hush that I don't need. Okay, sorry, I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. If this made it into the video, I'm sorry. I just sneezed very hard. All right, so I'm happy with the way that my rhythm guitars sound together. Because I'm able to hear the bass, I'm able to hear the electric guitars, and I'm able to hear the acoustic on the top end. If I want to hear the acoustic guitar even more, what I would do is I would go to my electric guitar, EQ. What is this? Why is my electric looking like my bass guitar? What? If I want my acoustic guitar to look even, like to sound even better, what I will do is I will get some of the high end. Or have it controlled. There really isn't I can words. There really isn't happening much here that I can change because I'm good with this. I'm good with this. So drums are ready to go. Acoustics are ready to go. Let's focus on this on the first well, not first. Let's go for this clean guitar first. This is Archetype Petrucci X, the acoustic modulator thing. So some harmony stuff. I'm going to disable its reverb. The delay isn't really bothering me much. And hold on. The compression is too aggressive. Okay. Maybe -7. Now for harmony, I need to do this. I know this is not a part of my part of my plan. I'm going to automate the notes, the first 4 notes, each one of them to play in a different ear. This is really unnecessary, but I don't know why. When I was recording this, I felt like this could be a good ping pong thing. So the first note is going to be hard left. The second note will be hard right, hard left, hard right. And then they join in the center. All right, let's go with -10. Let's go with -10. Are you kidding me? Okay, here. Can I add? Oh my God, automations -10. I hear everything in its place. That is my plan. I'll get to that guitar. Alright, now let's talk about that guitar. It is the same acoustic, it is the same electric. Oh, it's not. It's actually this. For this one, I'm using Trivium. So this is the default Archetype Petrucci X. I haven't changed anything here. I'm just going to maybe lower the delay a little bit. And maybe I should lower its gain. Very well. Let's just kill all of the intro extra noises. Here in like the, I don't know, 260 something hertz, I hear something weird. I'm going to focus on it more so you can hear it too. See that nasally sound? It bothers me. So I'm going to take it out. I don't need any of its high end, any of its low end. Maybe some of its high end. Now, here's a dark magic fact that I love it so much. For my electric rhythms, I am using the Trivium amp knob, the rhythm module, For my lead, I will be using the Trivium lead module. The reason for that isn't because I'm lazy. It kind of is a bit, but it's because based on the programmer, the engineer behind this plugin, the way that these frequencies, like these amp responses were made, they're made in a way that they sit together very well in a mix. So in an ideal world, you really don't need to EQ a lot of things here. I'll just lower it maybe to -5, -8, because this is the like the melody part, and just let it rip. You see, it feels like they are playing just like it's like a same patch. Let me actually solo this, just these. Like it feels like they're like pocketing each other so well, and I'm going to assume it's the same story with bass, because they are all from the same family of plugins. Like I said, it feels like I really don't need to touch this much. I'm just gonna take some of that, like that nose nasal thingy. All right, we are ready for the vocals, relatively speaking. I'm not listening to the vocals yet. I'm just listening to the guitars. Like, I have so many ideas that I want to implement, but I have put a constraint on myself not to change any musical values here, because I could do some fun stuff with the drums, some effects stuff. I increased the electric guitars by around a dB, and I'm gonna see maybe at this section, when the acoustic bit begins, maybe I automate the volume a tiny bit lower. Instead of almost 4, let's go for 4.5. Like exactly at this moment. No, 4.5. Tiny bit. So here we're around 3 dB of reduction, -3, and then boom, we go to because acoustics are still there. Perfect. All right. Let's go for vocals. Yeah, I say perfect, but this is a demo. So I'm going to put the harmonies in a group the same way, vocal harmonies, but I'm not going to touch them yet because I have a couple ideas for them, but I need the main vocals to be fixed. So I'll mute this, and then I'm going to focus on the vocals. So this is the vocals, no effects, nothing. I should explain that I recorded the vocals using a different mic. I recently got a Lewitt Flex 441. This thing is crazy. Like this is a professional, like insanely professional level microphone thing happening here. Comme je suis emprisonné dans un déjà vu, un retour en arrière d'un cauchemar. All right. My attempt, again, going back to Isotope, I will begin with Nectar, because Nectar is the vocal thing for Isotope. And for this one, I'm going to stay loyal to Cubase, and I will use a vocal chain. Recently, the vocal chain warm tube vocal has captured my mind to an unbelievable level. So this is probably gonna jump in gain. Just listen to this. No plugin, nothing. And here's plugin.
Un retour en arrière d'un cauchemar que je n'ai jamais vécu. Les saisons changent
Nothing.
comme les personnes, mais la couleur reste figée.
Plugin.
La vie comme un fardeau, difficile à porter.
This thing is ridiculous, like absolutely weird. I've actually tried to study what's happening here. Obviously, we got a bunch of filters here. I think in the pitch, it's like it's trying to correct very relatively. This doesn't need to be on. This can be off because I'm not using autotune here. A tiny bit of DS.
Pourquoi tu me sembles comme ça?
Not in an aggressive way, which is insane. A tiny bit of compression here.
Comme je suis emprisonné dans un déjà vu.
Although I am using hardware compressors to record the vocals, so it's kind of a cheating, but still, it gets the job done. Some more aggressive EQs here, taking some of the low end here, some of the mid here, and boosting a tiny bit here, and taking some of the high here, which is more evident in the chorus.
M'appelle, l'amour est un labyrinthe, on cherche.
Like it stays very true to the character. A tiny bit of saturator. I might disable this and use pufferfish, and I'm not losing my mind. The pufferfish is the saturator from the Sonable guys, which is really interesting.
Des voix pour sortir en brûlot comme les gouttes de temps qui éclatent comme une bougie. L'amour est.
I don't know how the saturator works because it's just a fish that you like blow to make larger, but it is magic. We have a second level of compressor, so we have some kind of a parallel compression thing going on here. Very slight. I love it. Another EQ to like now that we've compressed, we're going to boost a tiny bit here. Second DS. This technically could also be here, but they've added it here in the character section to make it a little bit more shiny. Some delay and some reverb that I might disable completely because we have our own reverb in the room here. -10. You might say, but didn't you use a guitar reverb? It's the same room, so I'm just gonna keep it. If I want to change it, I'll add another reverb here. Next thing I want to do is to add a delay, and my go-to delay is my absolute favorite Timeless by Fab Filter. Any other filter can do the job, but these guys have a vocal reverb here called Tapalicious. I think that it was it. Like it has so much character.
Pourquoi tu me sembles comme ça? Comme je suis emprisonné dans un déjà-vu, un retour en arrière d'un cauchemar que je n'ai jamais vécu.
It is somewhat of a slapback with a bunch of weird things happening on top of it.
Les saisons changent comme les personnes, mais la couleur reste figée. La vie comme un fardeau, difficile à porter. Les étoiles me guident vers toi, si brillant que c'est dur à voir. Mais il faut continuer, la destination m'appelle, l'amour est un labyrinthe.
See, the compressors are so entangled with the frequency that even when we have drums and guitars and everything added on top of everything, the level of the vocals does not change much.
La destination m'appelle, l'amour est un labyrinthe.
And a lot of this comes from the source, I didn't do a super good job on the vocals. This is a demo take. However, the microphone was insanely well, like it's insanely good, and the compressors really helped a lot. And all of this is achievable in less than like 400 $300, which is insane. All right, let's go to harmonies. Now, for my harmonies, I might do some aggressive tuning to give it some character. Let's see what we can do. So, Nectar. This is a rock song, so I might actually go into the rock profile here and see what I have on the harmony. Backed up with. So the key is D minor or F major. Let's go F major.
Il faut continuer, la destination m'appelle, l'amour est un labyrinthe, on cherche des voies pour sortir en prolo comme les gouttes de temps qui éclatent.
I might, just out of curiosity, add just an artist out of tune here, and very aggressive, D minor, just to see what happens here. Hold on.
On cherche des voies pour sortir en prolo comme les gouttes de temps qui
Not a big fan of the autotune here.
éclatent comme une bougie là.
This is a very like stable place for me to use my last secret weapon to make the song pop a little bit more. Let me just clear the backing vocals here.
La destination m'appelle, l'amour est un labyrinthe, on cherche.
Here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a resolve by waves. This was a free plugin. I don't know if it is still free or not. I'm going to turn on its sidechain, and I'm going to sidechain it to my main vocals, like here. And then I'm going to choose the vocals, and it's going to listen to the vocals and create a profile. Now it's sidechained to vocals, so let me show you like this. Without ruining the frequencies of the guitar, it allows me to make sure that the vocal stays on top, stays the top dog.
M'appelle, l'amour est un labyrinthe, on cherche des voies pour sortir en prolo.
Now, for the ending here, what I would do, I would either use Smooth Operator. There's a rock one that I like very much. And then on top of it, I'll add God Particle. Sorry, warning, there's gonna be a jump in level here. Let's listen to the mastered version of the song, before and after. Now, is this perfect? Of course not. I've spent 30, 35, 36 minutes on this. Usually songs like this would take up to 10 hours in a good mixing, because what I would do is I would dissolve the drums into separate stems, make them into wave files, export the overheads, mix the overheads differently, mix the kicks differently. This is just for me to get a fast result, for me to keep the flow of like to just get more comfortable with a speedy and more quicker way of producing. So that is my approach for mixing a rock demo in the box. I'm sure I did a very poor job explaining some of the processes. I'm still learning how to explain the processes. I am actually a university teacher. One of my courses is on music production. But thank you so much if you're watching this. I'm trying to become better at this. If you enjoyed this video, let me know. And if you could do the YouTube thing, thank you for subscribing. You don't have to do it. It would be really meaningful for me if you could do it. And I will be seeing you in the next video. You can watch and see, like, listen to this song's this Sunday. I forgot the date. Let me check the date. Sunday, March 29th, 9 a.m. Or 10 a.m. GMT, Europe time, as well. This song is called Le Labyrinthe, which is a French song from my third French album. You can listen to the original recording on Spotify, on Deezer, wherever you want, but it's called Labyrinth in English or Labyrinthe in French. It's a French song. Yep. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was fun. It was really fun for me to like condense like hours and hours of production into like one hopefully cohesive video. Have a great day. I will be seeing you soon, and peace.